Oh my. Oh my.
You are now tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show.
Yo, what it is and what it do? You're officially tuned into the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM, KCAA in the Inland Empire, worldwide on the NBC Radio Network and on the iHeart Radio app. As always, I am your mans and them, J Love, aka Uncle Jiggy. I'm joined every day by the statesman himself, Mr. Farron. Farron, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It is Monday, July the 26th, 2021. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the newest member of the team. It is, I can only introduce her affectionately known as Intern Lilian.
Hello.
Hey.
How's everybody doing this evening?
How are you feeling, Lilian? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
You're on the radio.
Yeah, that's a first. So I'm excited to be here and to talk to all of you guys.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. My very first question for you is, when you eat peanut butter, do you do grape or do you do strawberry jelly?
Ooh.
Probably.
Yeah. Yes, grape is the only way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Grape for you strawberry people.
I mean, I like both, but I would probably grab the grape first.
Strawberry fields forever.
No, man, grape.
Strawberry letter 23.
Aside from the fact that I'm allergic to strawberry.
Your fault.
What do you mean my fault? It's the fault of nature. Just
I had that one when I handed you a thing of strawberries and you said I'm allergic. Get that away from me.
So, Intern Lilian, is it true that you have been having the time of your life interning for the wonderful Mr. Love and Love Inc.? Is this the truth? We heard it through the wire.
Yes. So I've been having a great time with Jay, and I'm so grateful that I've been, under his wing, learning all his ways in industry. He has a lot of knowledge, and I'm excited to keep learning more. And, I'm a college student right now at the University of California, Irvine, and to have this
shout out to UCI.
Yeah, shout out, Zot. So
did you pledge?
Huh?
Are you in a sorority?
Oh no, that's just like the motto. Like we go zat because we're an anteater. That's our.
Oh, I get you. You're an ant. Who chose an anteater?
I don't know. Okay,
an anteater. We're the proud anteaters. And then what you said is zot. I don't know what. Is that what an anteater does? They do zot.
Yeah,
when it gets to ant.
We might not be ferocious, but we can eat some ants. Zot.
We looking for all the ant hills, baby. All the ant hills.
If you an ant, watch out. We the ant eaters.
We
Anybody else,
raid.
Though, we're probably prey for everything else. But for these ants, though.
He said we don't need no more raid.
Oh, man, this is okay. What are you studying at the University of California, Irvine?
Right now, I am studying drama and getting into musical theater as an emphasis.
Wow, drama. So I am the greatest candidate for you because allegedly there is drama all around my life.
No wonder she's been having a great time.
Well, Intern, we're going to throw you straight into the fire and into the frying pan.
Yes.
You're going to be introducing our news stories from this point on now. So tell us, what is the first news story of the day that Farron can disagree with me on because he's ridiculous?
Okay, so the first story, I'm sure many of you guys have heard about the Britney mantra of free Britney. So there's a whole story right now going on with her and her dad. She quoted that he's threatening and scary and she wants him out of his life. So they're going to court. And the little backstory, if you don't know what happened, is that she is trying to fight against him because he had been forcing her to get certain treatments and signing off on drug regimens that were, allegedly harmful to her throughout her career. And she just had enough of it and she wants to be on her own. And there's just been gossip all around because they're trying to hear from her mom, from her brother, and they're just kind of staying silent and just being like, she's fine, and blowing it off, which is also causing a rupture in the news.
Well, I agree with Brittany. White men are scary.
Oh my gosh.
Especially when they control your life. It's always dangerous when white men control your life. And what, did I say something wrong?
No.
Did I say? See, Farron has no problem with white men. Farron, he was in the military for like 800 years. And so they programmed him already.
Oh, I'm programmed. And I went to white schools.
There too.
And I went to white schools too.
Yes, and he went to white schools. So he loves white men. He gets mad at me. I be coming around. You just upsetting all my good white folk. You get them mad. Stop it, Jay. But this isn't. But this anyone can see. I've been saying this. This is a ridiculous situation. She's a grown woman. She shouldn't be in a conservatorship anymore. Even if she's a little, we'll call it interesting or we'll call it eccentric. She made her money. Why is her father in charge of it? Why are her mom and her brother being silent? Because they getting little kickbacks. This is ridiculous. In any other scenario, this would be considered illegal. At the very best, it would be considered immoral. You know what I mean? Just unconscionable.
Wait, illegal or immoral? Which one? Because
No, I'm saying at very best. Like even if it's not illegal, at the least, you can say it's immoral that her father, come on, he's making her that I heard that I read, I should say, not that I heard, that I read. He was forcing her to be on birth control. Like, again, I don't know why more women are not upset about this. Like how I'm the champion of like, I'm this giant feminist that is saying like, how can a man be responsible for a woman's health care? Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, it's not even just that. It's like he's signing off for those drugs and like in different types of drugs for her to take. So it's like, shouldn't, as just a person yourself, you should be able to have your own right to deny or accept drugs and sign off. Like she's over the age of 18, so it doesn't need a parent consent. Like that's what doesn't
see, Lilian, that's why I like you, because you agree with me. Farron about to say something. Go ahead, Farron. Say some of your ridiculousness. Go ahead.
No, it's not that it's ridiculousness. What we don't know the full backstory, right?
Yeah.
So we are only coming up with what the media has put out, but whatever the stipulations were with that agreement with her and her dad. And now, I mean, I get now she's a woman now and she wants to live her own life, but she did have some kind of mental stuff going on.
Yeah.
Man, see,
and as a father, as a faja, you do want to protect your children.
Yes, but at some point, if your kids, like, you have to let them, like, if they're grown, even if you disagree with it, they're grown. You have to let them do what it is that they, you know what I mean? Like, okay, Brittany had a meltdown.
They're in the music industry, though. See, it's different than me and my children who are not in some limelight industry, and so I think it's just
wow. No, there's no backstory. The only story is this is a grown woman who is saying, look, I want to be able to make the decisions for my own life like any other adult human being.
How much did you know about life at 18?
But she's not 18.
I'm not. I'm gonna go somewhere with this.
Now.
I know. I'm going somewhere. I
know this much. At 18, I left home with a backpack and $365, and nobody locked me up and put me in a conservatorship.
How much did you know about life?
At 18, I didn't know much. I thought I knew a lot, but I didn't know
so tell me, now we're getting somewhere. How much did you know about life at 25?
More than I did at 18.
How much did you know about life at 30?
30, I was almost the president of the United States.
So age not always makes a person mentally or an adult just because you're 25, so you should know. No, people don't. People don't know.
This is why, man.
She's not. Just because you're 25 don't mean you're mature.
Who cares about mature? There's lots of people who ain't mature. It's not about
exactly. Yeah, and you see how society is. You see how corrupt society is.
I think that's what the father's probably going to start fighting against too, that like, you know, she had a lot of mental health issues in her past.
He's
and
in his
during
mind, he's
that
protecting
time-
her.
How we know he ain't mental?
We all dealing with something.
Yeah,
Oh,
it seems like
see,
she's in a better mental state now. So, I mean, that she's fighting
look,
against
I don't
it.
care if we get
mean,
bat doodle crazy Brittany that done shaved her head and, you know, was getting out of the car without just being real inappropriate. At the end of the day, Britney Spears was the only one on stage with regards to her family going, oops, I did it again.
You wasn't with me when I was
I
shooting in
played
the
with
gym.
your heart, got lost in the game. Oh, baby, baby, oops.
All her father did was try to protect her at the best that he knew how.
So you know what? Here, Daddy, let me write you a check for $10. Leave me alone. Okay, and let me and even if I spend all of this money on gummy bears and sunflower seeds, I was the one out there on tour making this money. That's the bottom line.
And you know what else? I'm with you on part of that because he's controlling the money. He's
yes,
like,
that's my point.
That's the Dr. Evil side. That's the Dr. Evil side.
That's my point. If you follow the money, because if it wasn't about the money, this man wouldn't be making the rest of the decisions. It's about him controlling the money. Because
it was probably for her benefit in the beginning, but now that she's a woman and mature and she wants to create her own life, and he's like, nah, I gotta hold on to this money because he probably ain't gonna get none once he's out of there. So Dr. Evil.
Exactly. Because I'll even partially agree with you and say that in the beginning, when she first had her episode, it was necessary for, say, I don't know, the first 90 days, maybe even a year. But we're talking, this conservatorship has been like almost, I think, like 10 years now. Like it's been a minute, right?
Yeah.
Like this is insane.
I would agree with you on part of that. That it's definitely money driven. I could see that, how the money is the factor, and like I said, if she cut and he gonna get cut out now for sure.
Oh yeah, he better spend everything he can spend. Like I promise you, if they do an audit, this man has been going through that money.
Oh
if
yeah,
they do an audit,
he gonna be in trouble.
He gonna be like, yo, I had to spend $352,000 on paper clips. You know how much stuff I gotta file? I be filing all these papers all the time, and I gotta keep paper clips around the house. Paper clips ain't cheap. Paper clips is expensive.
I guess it's if I don't know, parents out there, what would you do, parents? And there's a difference between a parent and a father too. So he got his own issues too. So he ain't free and clear.
Whatever, yeah. free Brittany. What else we talking about?
And it's not just Brittany who's been the hot spot right now. So right now there is DaBaby. He went on a homophobic rant.
She said DaBaby. What the baby went on a home? What did the homophobic baby say?
Put the baby to sleep.
What did the homophobic baby say? I want to know what
the baby in a high chair.
Hold on, let me explain for those of y'all out there who have no clue what we're talking. We're not talking about an actual homophobic baby, okay? There is a rapper named DaBaby, not to be confused with Lil Baby, okay? So there's DaBaby, there's Lil Baby, and then there's Baby from Cash Money. So there's three babies.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so there's not an actual homophobic baby, but it's a baby nonetheless. He's DaBaby, and I think he said, what did he say, Lilian?
Oh gosh.
Well,
we do have FCC
I'm allowed to say all those things that he was saying.
Yeah, we do have FCC
a bunch of disgusting comments and just calling out the LGBTQIA plus community, saying
Wait,
that.
Did you just add an I?
Yeah, it's LGBTQIA plus, since there's more than
time out. I just got used to the Q.
What's the I?
What's the A in the wait, the plus? There's a plus? How is there a plus? They already got 26 letters.
Okay, let me get this.
What, an I? There's an I now?
There's an A. There's an A and a plus sign. Hold on. Listen, okay. And for anyone out there from the hold on.
Yeah.
LGB
from that community.
From that community. Okay. I'm not being disrespectful.
Okay, so LGBTQIA stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and or questioning, intersex and asexual, and or ally. And then there's a plus because there's for other non-heterosexual people. So that is the up-to-date.
Who is
That's
other
where
non?
we
You
at.
just named all the other non-heterosexual people. There's what other non? Okay, I'm sorry. Please listen. Anybody in that community, please understand. Okay, I am not a bigot.
Yes.
I'm not a bigot. Okay, whatever you choose to do with your life, you're an adult. I mean, whatever. My point is, I don't have an issue with your community. However, I don't want to say however because that cancels what you said before, right?
Well, you didn't say but, so you can use however.
So, okay, cool. I'm making sure. I want to word this correctly because
however.
Let's be honest. The gay mafia is no joke. The gay mafia they be trying to cancel folks real quick. And so let me say this though. For those of us who are not a part of your community, much of the time, I need you to understand it's not that we're bigoted. We just got used to now understand this whole thing of people embracing. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I've admitted before that I grew up in a very homophobic culture, very homophobic, just everything in society was homophobic, right? I've since grown in my views. I've become more accepting, and I don't even like the word accepting because that seems like you're tolerating something, right? But I'm just saying I've become more open, right? And just I've become more open, right? So my point is this though. Hey, Nika said hi, Lilian. That's one of our sponsors from Gym in the Box. Gym in the Box. That's we'll talk about them in a second. But let me say this: you got to understand that. Okay, for me, I'm 46 years old. Okay, Farron is like 63.
I'm 51. I'm 51.
But growing up,
say I'm older.
Growing up, I didn't know any gay kids at school. Now, let me preface that by saying, of course, there were gay kids at my school. Of course, that now that we're adults, we weren't surprised when so-and-so, quote unquote, came out of the closet. Not like you didn't talk about it that back then, right? Like we just knew this one was a tomboy and she played basketball really good, almost better than most of the boys. And this one over here, he was sweet as sugar and he had 3 girlfriends. I never seen them hold hands or kiss or nothing, but those were his
allegedly.
Yeah. And then he ended up marrying a man, right? Like we weren't surprised when we were adults and we found this out. But like growing up, you never. So now fast forward and all of this new information is coming out, right? And now there's letters and there's all these things and there's identifying and, oh, wow. Thank you. Sorry, I got ADD, y'all. I get people saying,
they said that we look all great and
yes, we all look. Thank you. So, so here's my point, y'all, is that I feel in many instances the exact thing that your community accuses other people of, which is being intolerant and being rude and bigoted. That's exactly what this community does. Because, for example, if I don't understand what the I or the A or the plus means, it does not mean that I'm bigoted. It doesn't mean, even that I'm ignorant. Well, fine. Ignorance just means you don't know.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not a bad word.
So I can't be labeled or judged because I don't know. If I'm sincerely asking a question saying, I don't understand. If you already had all these other letters, how is there that are non-heterosexual, right? Because that's the plus. The plus is other, like, I don't like how many non-heterosexual people do you have? Because you done named all of them, and then
I don't know.
I mean, the world is changing, and it's always going to keep changing. And people feel like they identify with these certain types of identities, and so, I mean, it's just about respecting it.
It's not brand new either. This is
and it's okay. Look, identify all you want. But the rest of the world isn't responsible for your identity. Like because I've gotten yelled at for this, literally. I misgendered somebody one day. Wear a name tag. I don't know. My bad. If you look like a female, okay, and excuse me, I do believe that there are 2 genders, okay? That doesn't make me a terrible human being, okay? It doesn't mean that I'm evil and I'm awful, but I believe, because I've only met, we'll use just I don't know, regular biology, for example. But for the most part, you got male lions and female lions, right? Or male puppies and female puppies. I ain't never met a puppy in the middle. And I'm not saying this disrespectfully. I'm saying that I do believe in genders, right? So if I see someone who, in my view, presents, can I use that word? I'm trying to use all the right words.
You good.
As a female, and I address them as a female, but I don't know that they want to be addressed as, I don't know, a bird. And I'm being ridiculous, but listen to, because this is how it comes off. And then they get mad at me because I didn't know they wanted to identify as a bird. How was I supposed to know that they wanted to be a bird because they didn't have no feathers? That's all I'm trying to say, right? And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, okay? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. All I'm saying is, first of all, for your story, Miss Lilian, the baby shouldn't have said something ridiculous, because we shouldn't be talking ridiculous about nobody, whether they're gay or not, black or not, white or not, female or not. We shouldn't disrespect people, period. So that's number one. But every time this subject comes up, you know, it just, I get confused.
Yeah, and it's a new subject even for me, because once I started college, there was a big thing on that about how you have to present, when you present yourself saying your name, you have to also include your pronouns, because we don't want people to identify. Yes.
Hold on. This
was
a conversation they had at college?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, when we go into a Zoom meeting, they ask us to put our pronouns with our name. And so it's been custom to where I automatically will put my pronouns, she, her, hers. And then, so when you address them, you call them by the correct pronoun and you're not offending anybody. And I mean, I feel like it's a good process because it gets rid of the whole offending of others. And so...
Okay, I'm gonna say something. This is hilarious. Not hilarious, but now it makes sense. The first couple of times we had like Zoom meetings, right, with Lilian, I noticed she put her name and she put she, her, hers, right? So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
It's been like now drilled into my head because like that's what.
See,
and even like when you meet new people, like on college campuses, you'll hear them physically say, "Oh, hello, my name is this, and this is my pronoun."
So if I go visit you at the college campus, when I introduce I gotta go, yo, what's good? My name is Jay. I'm he, him.
Yeah, I mean,
you better know which one you are too. I'm not even sure.
I'm him.
A majority.
I'm him, and I'm his. Wait, no, I'm not his, but I'm his. I'm not his, but I'm his.
I don't think you want to be a they or them.
Why can't I be a they or them?
I think.
What does that mean?
I believe it's he or his.
I guess if you don't identify like a she or he, then you would go like they, them if you're like in the middle.
Okay.
Really
and this is our society now.
We're gonna go to the next topic because I'm about to say something real ridiculous. But I will say this:
informing you as you know,
as our resident millennial. Are you a millennial or are you Generation Z or whatever?
I think I'm like Z.
Here we go with the labels.
Man, I'm trying to look. Let me just say this. Shout out real quick. Shout out to Nika and Jim in the Box. Nika did create some technology that, even though I've been using it, right? My Gym in the Box weight trainer. I'm down 50 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? But she did it does work for males, but she did develop the technology for females. You know, I'm pretty sure I can say that. You know, she identifies as Miss Woody Woodpecker.
I saw that. She got jokes.
Yeah, Nika got jokes. Nika also said that white people, she can say this. I can't say this. Now I can talk about black folks, but Nika can talk about white because she's from the original Aryans. She is from Germany. And Nika said that white people in America are different than white people from around the world and from Europe.
Well, they are.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking. I had to take her authority as a white woman, as a white woman from Germany with an accent and everything. She told me that white people in America are ridiculous. You know what I mean?
And well, you know, the Revolution Radio Show, like I keep telling you, it's not about the white people. That's my neighbors that we got a problem with. Those are not the white people.
I don't, because you like your white people. The white people around.
You just said, when did I say this? I don't know what you're talking about. So
Exactly.
but anyways, so speaking of wonderful women.
Yes, wonderful women.
Sorry, I just had to take a moment. That was funny. Nia Alvarado. She is the first Costa Rican gymnast to ever qualify for the Olympics, and
they got gymnastics in Costa Rica.
I mean, I'm assuming so, but she did a BLM tribute during her routine. She found a little loophole and did it right when she landed her stunt, and I think it was a beautiful statement that she did, supporting the tribute, Black Lives Matter, and I mean, for being a first ever, that was very bold of her, and she made her point.
Yeah, she did. She might not ever get back to the Olympics thanks to that.
I mean, okay, so they did say that there was a thing about talking, it was in the games in Tokyo for 2020, and they said as long as it's not in the medal ceremony or during competition, she's okay. So
because they were like, hey, them Negroes did it back in the 1940s. It ain't never going to happen again. Okay?
She didn't get in trouble because it was during her routine. So she found that little loophole and did it.
This is what's crazy to me. What's absolutely insane is that putting up a fist that simply really represents unity, right? That's a universal symbol. Like, it has been co-opted and people have made it into a black thing.
Oh, they made it some.
But that fist has been used by every revolutionary group in the last like 100 years. You know what I mean? Like, literally, it has been used from people in the Middle East to the white hippie movement, to the anti-war movement, to people in Cuba. I mean, I could go on and on around the world, but for some reason, it always, if you do this, that means that's the scary black people right there. And I'm holding up a fist, y'all. I'm holding up a fist. But I salute her. Go ahead.
So you know that human beings are meaning-making machines. So we make everything mean something.
Meaning-making machines.
Yeah. That's the first time I heard that.
Yes.
Farron tries it. He be getting deep all the time. Well,
shout out to her. Radio show.
Shout out to her for doing that. It's crazy that in the year 2021, that's even news. It shouldn't even be news in 2021 because we dealt with this literally in the 1940s with John Carlos when he stood up. And the entire protest that happened during that Olympics in Germany in front of the Führer himself. The Führer, if you don't know who the Führer is, read a book. Nika knows who the Führer is. She ain't gonna claim him though. Nika just be like, I don't know nothing about him.
She said
but
she didn't say that.
Anyway, good to talk about the next story.
Yeah. So speaking of news that should not be in 2021 news, is Norway women's handball team was fined for wearing shorts for their competition. They were fined $177 each player because they wore shorts instead of the uniform of bikini bottoms.
So I heard about this story, right? And I also heard about there was a gymnast from Germany. And let me see if I can pull it up. But there was a gymnast from Germany that wore a complete body unitard, right? To protest the sexuality of, they have to wear these tiny, skimpy little outfits, right?
And the leotards are like bikini cut bottoms, so it goes.
So they got a fine for wearing the shorts and not the bikini
instead
bottom?
of the bikini. Yes, that's how sexist.
That's a fine.
And so they were protesting by wearing the shorts because they were sick of the bikini bottoms. That is the standard uniform according to the handball competitions and teams. And so they were looked at and fined because they were representing supposedly male uniform, which is the shorts.
Serious?
So it's like, when did shorts belong to just the male team?
Here's I don't know how I became the president of the feminist movement, but I don't know how women all over the world are not outraged. I mean, just in general, like when you look at, okay, male volleyball players wear these big trunks, right? They be wearing these long trunks. This, you know, the women got to wear them little, I call them panty shorts because they're like panties.
Yeah, the little short spandex. And it's like, that's the uniform that we have to wear. If you wear any longer, then they're going to be like, no, you have to go to the basic standard spandex shorts, which go up to higher than the mid thigh. And really.
So ladies, listen to me, ladies. I'm your leader. Okay. Listen to me. Ladies, we need to stop allowing men to make these rules. The problem is that it's been a misogynistic system forever and ever and ever. And we need to stop allowing men to dictate to women what women have to do and wear. It's absolutely insane. There's nothing about competition that says, yo, you need to wear bikini bottoms. That's some old pervert somewhere going, yeah, it's better for you, girl. You need to, it's going to help you be limber. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
I mean, Pink also agrees too, because Pink, the artist, she agreed to pay the fine for the team.
Oh, wow.
And not have to deal with it. So she paid the full fine. It was a total of like over $1,000, almost $2,000 for the team. And that would have cut big into their budget, but she stepped on and tweeted all about it, saying she's proud of them for protesting against this and wishes that she can do more to help get rid of this uniform of bikini bottoms.
Well, but even the gymnast girl,
she was protesting too by getting the leotard bikini bottoms, which is the standard gymnast uniform, into doing the full body leotard, so covering her legs, her chest,
her arms, everything.
Oh wow.
Full body. And she's rejecting it, saying that there's just this huge sexualization of the sport for gymnasts, and you know, she's over it, so she feels more comfortable in the suit.
Well, in general, it's always, when it comes to women, it's really, let's be honest, right? The quote unquote, to whoever standard this is, but the quote unquote better looking women are always pushed out front more, as opposed to the more, we'll call it athletic or muscular looking woman, right? Let's call it for what it is. Okay. It's always been a double standard when it comes to women, you know, and even something. And so I want to make an apology. I've had an argument, and I think, Farron, we might have talked about this months ago when we were talking about the disparagement, the difference between the pay rate when it comes to women's sports and men's sports. And I always erred on the side of like, yo, it's a business, right? Bottom line, at the end of the day, more people pay ticket prices and go see men's sports than go see women's sports, right? So I tried to be real, like, just, you know, don't complain. You get more people to come watch the sport, right? But then I saw one of the captains of USA Soccer, and she said something that was so poignant. And I was like, you know what? I've been looking at this all wrong the whole time. And she said, well, you got to look at it like this. I understand business, right? And she said, but here's the difference. If they spend $1 billion on marketing for male sports, and they only spend $100 million on marketing for women's sports, it's no rocket science to think one is going to be more successful than the other, because you're putting 100 times more into the marketing of that sport. That blew. I was like, you know what? Wow, I've been a jerk. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that she presented, you know, because that's all I've ever asked for is, yo, give me the right argument so that I could understand. You feel me? And so I just think,
and it's not like all bodies are the same either, because it's like there's different women who have different sized bodies, and it's what they feel comfortable in. You know, not like thicker women are not going to feel comfortable in like these short little bikinis that's going to be all riding up their butt. And it's like, you know, they want to have more longer, comfortable wear, and that's what helps them perform their best. So it's like for somebody else to be telling them to wear these shorter and tinier outfits, it's like, what? It doesn't make sense.
See, that's why I hate men. You want to see? That's why I could never be gay, because men are just whack. You feel me? Men are garbage.
Wow, for real. I am not garbage.
You know what I mean? Okay, males. How about that? Males.
Yeah, males, because men are mature.
Yes, men are amazing. Males, bleh, bleh. You know what I mean? I just tell my little niece, boys.
Does anybody know what sparked all of this anyway? Is that part of the Me Too? Is that part of the Me Too movement? The whole how you got to dress now for sports and the
no,
like, where does that they've been wearing that stuff for years? Why all of a sudden
that's the
is
point.
it an issue?
No, it's an issue because for years men have been telling them to wear this. Women didn't say we want to wear bikini bottoms while we play a professional sport, right? Or technically Olympics are considered the highest level of amateur, but like at the most elite level, we want to wear bikini bottoms. That's never been what women have said. Women have never said we want to wear the skimpiest, tiniest little things. That was these, you know, if you look at all of like from the Olympic Federation to all the World Federation of Sports, at the very top of every one of those organizations is, guess what? Men. And 90% of the time, I'm not going to say what kind of men.
Well, that's probably the problem.
But
who controls? Yeah. Anyway, we know who controls all that.
What else we talking about, Lilian?
Okay, so speaking of men, Phil
Englishman.
Valentine, he is a radio show host.
Wait, who is this? Say the name.
Phil Valentine.
Phil Valentine. Okay,
Phil.
Yeah. So, you know, he's a big time radio talk show host, and he has been anti-vaccine for so long.
I love where this story's going.
Oh,
and
God.
Guess what? Now he has COVID and he is in the hospital and having a very hard time. And so he gets back to the news and says that he wishes that he would have been more pro-vaccine and that from now on, he's going to be promoting people to get the vaccination and that he is sorry for all of the, you know, rumors and language that he said about the vaccine. And
he didn't believe COVID was real, huh?
No, I think it now it's like, why does it take a person to almost die to realize, oh, well, maybe this will be helpful for me?
Well, you know what? Before I say my take on this, I need the world to hear something. So I got something to say. But before we do that, Lilian, this is your first time. I want you to take this in, okay? Because this is the most important message ever disseminated in the history of the world. You ready?
Oh.
You finna online day chat, find a mate chat, open up BOK ass, okay yeah, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go vaccinate chat, get it straight chat, girl you look good, want you vax that thing up, you's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up, dating real life, you need to vax that thing up, feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up, girl you look good, want you vax that thing up, you's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up, dating real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up.
I know you can't stand it, no holding hands, chick. But when we get the shot, we gon' be romancing. Girl, you could be the queen after quarantine. We could meet up at the spot and we could do the thing. Internet date chat, I'm your mate chat. Download the app, shawty, you ain't gotta wait chat. I love it when you hold me, eggplant emoji. You could be the young hot thing, I'll be the OG.
Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Dating real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up. Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a decent looking brother, want you vax that thing up. Acting foolishly, you need to vax that thing up. Herd immunity, when you vax that thing up.
If you wanna get sticky and hot, go get the shot. If you wanna smash some dude named Scott, go get the shot. Go get the shot, go get the shot. BLK says go get the shot. You wanna smash with Scott, smash with Scott. BLK says go get the shot.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen,
I like how you just had that on cue ready.
So listen.
Wow.
Here's the thing. Okay, there was also another young man by the name of Stephen Harmon. Okay, so or Stephen, whatever, I don't care. Stephen was a member of the uber famous and I happen to like Hillsong Church. They have a lot of great music that they do. But my point is that he was a member. He also sang with them, whatever. He was a 34-year-old. And, you know, he went viral for being an anti-vaxxer. And his famous viral post that he made a meme about, and they were even selling T-shirts and whatnot, was said, "I got 99 problems, but a vax ain't one." Well, Stephen recently passed away after a month-long battle with the COVID-19 virus. And the reason I don't wish this upon anybody, okay? I'm not happy that this other gentleman that you brought up, Lilian, is sick. I'm not happy that this gentleman, Stephen Harmon, passed away from COVID. Last week, we talked about the president of Tanzania, who was completely COVID, you know, anti-COVID, anti-vaxxer, whatever. And he ended up dying of COVID. And there's case after case after case after case, right? If you do not want to get the vaccine, okay, that is absolutely your choice, both as a human being, that is your right as a human being, and in this country as an American, right? We have certain rights and liberties that are available to us. That being said, there's a difference between exercising your rights and your liberties and flat out spreading lies, rumors, innuendo, and I'm going to say this, stupidity. Because here's the truth. There's a lot of y'all out there, and some of y'all have actually even been on this show. I be seeing you on social media, and you talk all this, you know, oh, it's the Antichrist, and it's going to get your DNA. And you know what? You barely graduated from high school. You're not a scientist. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't been to medical school. No, why should we listen to you? I'm not saying listen to me. I didn't go to medical school. But you know who I do listen to? The doctors and scientists who went to medical school. Because contrary to popular belief, not everybody is out to get you. The boogeyman ain't around every corner. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I believe in conspiracies, and I get like the government and the man and all. So I'll go there with you on a lot of stuff. But we're talking about people's lives. I personally know 6 people who have died from COVID. Okay. A few of them were young in their 40s. Okay. I know upwards of at least, and I'm being conservative, 50 people who have contracted COVID. And thank God most of them only got sick. They didn't pass away, but still the inconvenience of getting sick. And here's the thing. The only thing we're trying to say with the vax is let's give ourselves as a whole, as a community, the best chance possible to beat this thing, because it's tending upwards again. I mean, and this time super fast, faster than it was last year. No one wants to say that because it's scary. If you really think about it, it's freaky how fast this thing is moving right now. And you're out there spreading the stupidity. I'm saying it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's reckless. It's irresponsible. And I'm sorry if you are one of those people who are out there flapping your gums and then you catch it. You know what? Good for you. You know what the old folks used to say? Hey, look, I'm gonna take it. We in Southern California. Everybody knows a Mexican. You ready? That way you'll learn. Porque you're gonna learn. Mira, that's how you're gonna learn. Watch out.
You go learn.
Yeah, and there's a lot of arguments with the people not getting the vaccinations because it's not FDA approved. And I know every time I talk to somebody about being vaccinated, that's the first thing that I always hear. It's not FDA approved. How do I know it's safe for me and my children? And I mean, it's hard to kind of like come back at that because it is true, it's not FDA approved. But in the end, with the herd community and helping everybody getting vaccinated, whoever can.
You know what else is not FDA approved? All that sticky icky that everybody's smoking.
That's what I'm saying. So you want FDA approved on stuff that you're interested in, but the stuff you're not interested in, it's okay. It's not FDA approved. We gonna take that. We gonna deal with that. No.
Well, listen, I met a doctor yesterday. Okay. And again, I will say this. You're right, guys. I didn't go to medical school. I don't even like school. Okay. I didn't want to go to college on purpose. So I didn't even take my SATs. I was like, I'm not going to college. So no, am I qualified? Absolutely not. But I met with a doctor yesterday. You know what this doctor told me? The doctor said, it's sad to me because I'm getting patients who now are asking me after they've contracted it, like, hey, can I get the vaccine? It's like, yo, it's too late. You can't do it. And it was something that she said to me was so powerful, because she said, the crazy thing is that I look at my patients in the eye that have contracted the COVID-19, right? And I tell them it's funny because you didn't want to trust me beforehand and get vaccinated. But now when you were coming to the hospital, you have no choice but to trust me because I can give you anything I want to give you. And you're you're just at my mercy. It doesn't make any sense.
You know, we human beings, you know, our opinion, you got to take it for what that is. It's just your opinion, and our opinions are not always the truth. So like you're saying, we're not doctors, we're not scientists, we're not none of that. You have to do your own due diligence. You have to do your own research and figure out what's best for you. But to drop your opinion because you can doesn't always make it right, because you just perpetuate the conspiracies, you perpetuate the rumors, and these are people's lives. I like military, 24 years. I know I took some vaccines my whole career, and for when it came down to this one, I was like, you know what, you know, people around me are doing it. You know, my grandson is who I want to see. I stayed quarantined so I can hang out with him. And so when it was up to me, I prayed. I went to God and I prayed. I did my research and I chose one, and I made a choice. And so here's the difference: choice versus the decision. When you make a decision, you look at all your pros and cons. You look at all your reasons why not. And if you make a decision off of a reason, you're going to defend that reason. So if my family would have came to me and said, which they did, was, why did you do that? Why did you do that shot? Because I chose it. But if I said I did that one because I didn't like the other ones, I would have been defending that because I don't like the other ones. So my freedom was, I chose the one that I chose because I chose it, even after all my reasons, considerations. So if you're on the fence and you want to know, like, you really want to pick one of those, but you don't know what your family's going to say about it, or what your cousin's how you're going to feel about it afterwards, make a choice. Your freedom is in your choice. If you pick the vaccine because of a reason, you're going to defend that reason, and your experience of life is going to be impacted. That's the biggest thing. We're not left with the decisions we make in life. We're left with the consequences. So you do have to do your research. You have to look at what's the consequence if I do this? What's the consequence if I don't do this? And make your choice. But just you don't have to defend anything you do in life, but we feel like we have to defend ourselves. And I'm a great defender. But I learned the difference in my development. The choice is a freedom. And so when people ask me, why'd you pick the J&J? Because I wanted one shot. That was if I have to give you a reason, you better give me one time, because I ain't going back for the second one. So that's what I saw was my choice.
Right. But here's the difference is that people who get vaccinated, it's like they have to defend their choice, right? Like, why did you give it, right? Whereas people who are anti-vaxxers, not only do they not defend it with any type of intelligence, but they turn around and spread a false narrative. That's my issue. My issue is that, okay, you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, cool. Okay, whatever. God bless you, right? But then for you to turn around and literally, start spreading news that you learned at Facebook high school, right? Because that's basically what it is. Like, Facebook is like high school, and you went and you were in the hallway and you heard your little rumors. I heard that Lilian has 7 ears now on her back because she got the vaccination. Did you hear that? A girl in the locker room saw her when she was getting ready for volleyball practice, wearing her little bikini shorts.
Or the memes of turning into a zombie and crawling up the walls and doing some exorcists.
Yeah, like, stop it. None of that is based in any sort of, and let me say, because we're running out of time, let me say this specifically to the community of faith, okay? I'm going to speak on this subject. So all of you who consider yourself to be the community, and I'm going to be very specific, evangelical Christians, and I can talk to y'all because I guess I live in that community, okay? Let me say something to y'all. For y'all who sit out there and be like, well, the blood of Jesus, hallelujah, the blood. Okay, guess what? My mama had lupus and she knew Jesus really well. My grandmama had cancer and she knew Jesus Look, the Bible says that it rains upon the just and the unjust alike. That's just life. Life had life. Jesus, let me be very clear, okay? Because y'all got theology twisted. If you want to come at me, trust me, I'm not the dude, because I will kill you with my theology. Understand what I'm saying? Jesus ain't gonna protect you from COVID. What did I just say? Jesus, let me be very clear. Jesus, matter of fact, Jesus will look at you like, why didn't you wear a mask? Why didn't you? Because Jesus said, render unto Caesar what it said. Jesus didn't get involved in other situations. Like, what Bible are y'all reading that you think that some magical potion you gonna say, mama sama makusai, and then all of a sudden, you know, Jesus gonna protect you from COVID and from the Delta variant and from everything else? No, that's not how it works. And you're preaching a false gospel. You're a heretic.
Yeah.
Wow, I could feel it right now. I can feel it coming. There's gonna be all kinds of little DMs and inboxes and gunshots.
You're right, because when you understand the principles, it's the spirit behind that. And he died. He died for everything, right? He died for all of it. And you also have to be responsible with your wisdom.
Yes.
So you have to apply your knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And again, your freedom in Christ is the spirit behind that you believe. And regardless if you take the vaccine, and it's your belief, you have to believe. I mean,
look, I believe in God. I undoubtedly believe in God. I believe that God is not only the great physician, but he is a mighty healer. I believe that.
Yes.
But for you people who like to quote scripture, because I keep hearing this one, the Bible says by his stripes we were healed. Okay. I want you to walk inside an ER right now, walk out with everybody who's in there. Go ahead, go and do it. Come on. You can go on and do it. I want you to walk inside your local ER, and I want you to walk right back outside with everybody if you really believe that tough. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's God ordains, like it's literally God ordains doctors, nurses, you know, pharmacists. Like, these are all, you know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta quit. Stop with all the dumb stuff, man. Like,
here's a human experience, because this is my development area. We don't get a say in when, where, why, or how people die. We get no say so. Zero. Right. You get an opinion, but you don't get any say so. So if that person dies, you acknowledge that. And if that was God's will for that person to die because of that, I look at it like, okay, so then what's the work behind that, right? If that person died, what was the message in that? It's not always, oh no, you know, why did they didn't have to do that? No, we don't get a say so. We get only opinions. People die because they die, and you have to be able to, some of that stuff you have to settle in your heart, in your subconscious.
As we close out, I will say this really quick. My brother, the Marine, might disagree with you because he said a lot of people. He had a say so in a whole lot of Taliban's going home. He said it was specifically up to him. Did a whole lot of Taliban's.
That is part of our training of objectification.
Shout out to the Marines.
That is a development in objectification as a military veteran. So he is absolutely correct, Mundo.
Good. If you ask him, he go, I had a say so. I had a loud say so.
In the context of in the context of military, yeah.
So Lily, we're
yeah, at this point in the story, we want everyone to get vaccinated, and please wear your mask, because you're going to have a lot of angry college students not being able to go back on campus this fall if we end up closing up again.
Yeah, so Ms. Lilian, we're 2 minutes out. You survived your first day. How do you feel?
I feel really good. It was really exciting and fun to be on here, you know, express my opinion and get all these news stories out here.
We had a few comments, people saying you did a good job. People are already saying that you did a great job.
I appreciate it.
You know, and so I guess she will still be here tomorrow. We didn't scare her off. Well, she's used to my ranting and raving. She's used to me. But as always, Farron, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, just again, you can be responsible without blame and fault. Like I said, this is the Revolution Radio Show. I'm not playing with y'all. You can be responsible without blame and fault.
Word. Yes. And so you know, and again, it's all whatever. Who cares? I know there's a lot of people mad at me right now, so it doesn't matter. So with that being said, as always, Lilian, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to have you as a part of the team now.
Yes,
I think
welcome.
Add a lot of
and get
you
back.
staying. I think you exactly wear your mask. But with that being said, as always, I got to leave y'all with this is reach for your best, reach for success, but most of all, reach for God, because God is love and love is everything, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Oh my.